Before we go, we're going to talk books. I know you are an author yourself. You brought a couple of books. I've got books that I want to recommend to people. So let's do books right now. So the first book that I'm going to recommend is by my good friend Bettina Gappa, Out of Darkness, Shining Light. Wow. You know, Bettina, I think she outdid herself here. This is an amazing book. I actually have had an opportunity to discuss it with her on this show. Have you read it?
I have a copy. I'm supposed to supposed to translate it. Yes. So
please do.
Yeah.
What a book. Amazing book. And these books I haven't read, but I bring them out to honor the late Patisa Nyati, Tumbule, A History of the Bebe People of Zimbabwe.
Wow.
Patisa gave me this in Bulawayo 3-4 years ago when we had a conversation. Another one, a very thick book again by Patisa Nyati. Patisa Nyati at 70, A Life Dedicated to the Arts, Culture and Heritage. And this is book 2 of book 1 and 2, honoring a cultural diplomat, a cultural giant, a cultural ambassador, Patisa Nyati. I have no doubt that in you is somebody who's going to do the kind of work, and you've already started. Do you want to share with us the books that you've brought here? Shall we say 2 or 3 books or maybe 4?
I'm so pleased with this, my latest. It's a collection of poetry.
Zwingori zwidori nezvigure zvakadhakwa. I tried it.
You tried. Zvingori zvidhori nezvigure zvakadhakwa.
Netembo. This is Gano. Netembo, what is Netembo?
Poetry.
Poetry.
Yes.
Poetry, yeah.
Yes.
Ignatius, wonderful. So there you are. Lots of beautiful poetry there. But well, let me not say anything else. And what else do you have?
Well, you know what? No,
Pinocchio. Let's talk to Pinocchio. Huh?
Well, this is a translation of the famous Italian story or folktale, by Carlo Collodi, which the Italian embassy asked me and Elvis Marie to translate. And it was such an honor. Very challenging because some of the material culture of Italians and Zimbabweans, is, the guys in here.
Oceans apart.
Absolutely. The guys here, they wear wigs. And, so you have to find, but it was fun. It was fun. And
any that you want to highlight there from those that you brought?
I was going to, say, probably I'll highlight Zisore Zongororo.
Mm-hmm.
That's my Oxford University published novella, which was a school set text up to last year. But this is the famous Mapenzi. And I'm so pleased to, I think I've said this, that Mapenzi is, I was approached by the University of Georgia Press in the United States, and they wanted to translate it into English. So it's coming out in about 2 months.
Well done.
Oh, thank you.
And you did Mapenzi when? When was this?
This was my debut novel, 1999.
1999.
Yeah.
And the world still has an interest in this piece of work.
People tell me it's a classic. It's still relevant to,
Is it a classic in Zimbabwe? Do people realize the beauty that it is?
It is a classic in Zim. And, I will tell you, I've written, other works, but people keep...
Mapenzi.
They say, Mapenzi, I get people say, I was doing sciences, but my colleagues were doing Shona at that time. And they were mad about this book. And so that's how we guys in the sciences ended up reading.
What does this book mean to you and the response that... it has elicited from the public? What does that do to you? What does that say to you?
I think it gives me hope that, yes, we go about saying Zimbabweans don't read. Yeah, I agree. I'm not quite sure whether we don't read or we don't buy books.
Yeah.
we may need to separate. Yeah. So, but it gives me hope that, if people can still identify with a story that is written, in a local language and go on and on, this is almost now what? 20
plus years.
Yeah. And they still say it's so.
You can't keep a good Mapenzi down.
I like that. And then, in Kiswahili, Mapenzi means love.